Hey guys, it's MalibuSkyy. So I've actually had a lot of people ask me, hey Malibu, how do you stay so positive? Well, Malibu stays positive because her head is carved in that way. She doesn't have any mechanical eyebrows or anything, so she can't change her expression. But the person inside of Malibu, whose name is Allison by the way, hello. He's got a couple tips for you. So on kind of a serious note, I've suffered from depression at multiple periods in my life, and I'm kind of going through it right now. So I'm not the most positive person, or at least as positive as I seem sometimes on social media, but I do have some things that have managed to keep me an overall happy person. Obviously everyone's situation is different, and I don't know where you're coming from, and these may not work for you, but maybe they will. So I just thought I'd make this little thing and kind of talk about it. So my first tip is to not bottle up emotions. From ages like 9 to 13, I didn't cry at all. And I was actually really proud of that fact when I was that age, which at this point I feel really, really bad about now. Because I just ended up bottling in a ton of negative emotions, and it actually led me to the point where I blocked the whole 8th grade year out of my mind because it was just so depressing and terrible. Because I just didn't let myself really feel or healthily express those emotions. I just kept it all inside, which is a really, really bad thing to do. Now, literally, if anything bad happens to me, I'll cry and I'll complain about it and I'll get upset about it. But it's good because you cry for a reason. You're releasing emotions. It can actually feel really, really good. Sometimes I'll start crying and I don't know why I'm crying, but I just know that it's a bunch of things that have been building up for a while, and then I need to let out, and I feel so good after it. Crying also helps you sleep if you've had a rough time falling asleep lately. Having a good cry can really tuck you out and it can feel great. And yeah, and don't feel afraid to kind of tell people that you're not doing okay. Tell your parents if you're close with them, your friends. You can hire a therapist. I've had some really great therapists in my life that I've loved and have helped me a ton. And yeah, you shouldn't pretend that you're okay when you're not okay, because that'll make you feel even less alright, and people are going to start to tell. Yeah. Another terrible thing that I did was shut myself off from all my friends during a time when I wasn't feeling well, and that was a really terrible time, because that's when you're not feeling okay is when you're often going to need your friends more than ever. So don't shut yourself off. Just, tell them, communicate that maybe you're not so neurotypical right now, but you still love them, and that, you still need them, and that you still want to do some fun things together and try and, get yourself out of this lump a little bit, Sometimes you just don't want to be around anyone, and that's okay. It's okay to have days when you just do nothing. When all you do is lay in bed and you watch Netflix or YouTube videos and eat food. Those days are great. Just kind of like self-help days where you don't interact with anyone and you just have time to yourself. Those are great, and it's good to have them every now and again. It's just bad when you make them every single day, because it's bad to shut yourself off from the whole world forever. You have to have times when you go out and you interact with people, but it's also totally fine to have days when you stay in for yourself. I do these kind of every other week. I usually have Mondays off from work, so if I'm just feeling totally drained, I'll just be, you know what, I'm just going to get a little stuff that I have to do in the morning done, and that's it, and then I'm just going to lay in bed, and I'm going to be a slug, and I'm going to love it, and it's great, and it really kind of re-energizes me for the rest of the week. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. If you can do it, just take a day every once in a while and just do nothing. It's the best. Another great thing to do is just surround yourself with positivity. I know it can be hard to take out toxic people from your life or toxic situations, but if you make an effort to realize that they're toxic and try and separate them out, then it's going to make things so much better. If you have a friend that's just nothing but negativity and uses you, or, that's the thing I had to learn. You deserve happiness. You always have, and you always will. Some other things that I like to do are just get outside sometimes. I'm really bad about this, where I'll get home from work and I'll just be like, all I want to do is lay in bed and play video games. But sometimes it feels really, really good to get out there and enjoy everything that nature has to offer. Go to the beach, or go to the forest, go for a little hike. Even just walk around the city and go people watching. It can be really fun, and it's a good way to get yourself out there. You can do this alone, with someone, doesn't really matter, but sometimes getting a little fresh air is great. But if you are just going to stay inside and play video games, which is good sometimes, I have a couple recommendations. First one is Animal Crossing. Woo! I've been playing this game for going on 3 years now, and I adore it. I check on it every single day, and it's just such a pleasant little game. I'm sure most of you have heard of it, but for those that haven't, you're basically just the mayor of a small little town of animals, and you go about doing your day-to-day chores. There's no fighting, there's no real conflict or anything. It's just the peaceful goings-on of a tiny town. And it basically runs in real time and changes every single day. Now the great thing about that is that you can plant a tree and then, go to sleep, and then at the end of the day you can look forward to logging back in and seeing that tree's grown a little bit, or that your project got completed, or that someone new moved into your town, or that you became better friends with another animal in your town, because, yeah, it's just a very, very sweet, very positive game that always just makes me feel really relaxed. It's got amazing music. I use it a lot in my videos. It's a fantastic little game that if you can get your hands on it, definitely do. I have the 3DS version, just Animal Crossing New Leaf, but I know they have them for a lot of different consoles. And if you don't have any consoles and you have a computer and Steam, there's a similar game called Stardew Valley, which I played a little bit of, and it is very good and very similar, and I can definitely recommend that one. And if you don't have any of those or any money, there's great YouTube playlists of people that let's play this game. Chugga Conroy did a really great one, Swimming Bird, and a couple others. I'll link them in the description. But yeah, that's a really just good relaxing way to kind of wind down the day. I usually do it in the morning and the evening, and it's a really great way to relax. I love it. Another great thing that I like to do, not all of you can do this, but if you drive and you have access to a car, I love to just go on long drives and play my music really loud and just enjoy it. Just enjoy the scenery and just enjoy the feeling of being behind the wheel. I love it. I know it doesn't apply to everyone, but if you do like to drive, sometimes it's good to just break the monotony of just driving back to work, back and forth from work every day and go drive somewhere else just for the sake of it. It's really cool. You'll never know what you might find out there. Another really cool thing is to get out there and get back to the community a little bit, do some volunteering. Personally, I weekly volunteer with a handicap riding facility, which helps handicapped people of all ages ride horses on the trails in the forest. It's wonderful, and I love it, and it always makes me feel so good at the end of the day. It's a lot of hard work, but it's also a lot of really good work. And there's all kinds of volunteering that you can do. You can volunteer at an animal shelter, even though I can't do that because I'm going to want to take on home all the cats and dogs, and it's going to be terrible. You can volunteer at local nursing homes and local child care facilities. There's a lot of stuff that you can do out there. And if you have a fursuit, you can do it in fursuit, which is even cooler, and it's something I definitely want to do someday. So yeah, that's basically it. I know I probably rambled a lot in this video, and thank you for sticking through with it. I hope some of this may have helped you, and feel free to leave your suggestions on how you stay positive in the comments, and I'd love to read it. Maybe I can use some of it too. So yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day, and I love you. Bye!